activate those, and you can't get rid of them either. But what they have found is that these Kevlar blankets, these space blankets, and you'll find them at Be Prepared sites, if you sleep between them like a sandwich on the outside, and just sleep inside of it, make a sleeping bag out of it and sleep inside it, it will knock their signal out so that they cannot locate you, because you've got an implant, and they use those to target you so they can come back and abduct you. 2 months later, after your initial abduction, if they've implanted a hybrid in you or whatever, if they want to come get you and implant you or whatever, you can diffuse the signal. You can hide the signal so that they can't find you by those Kevlar blankets, those space blankets. You can use them as a sleeping bag and sleep in the middle of them. Another way is to have, you can jam their radar. You would almost have to know what you're doing, though. A lot of this microwave radar equipment or whatever, you would have to know what you're doing. I don't know. Right now, you trade one problem, the orgone, keeps the aliens away, but it brings the military in. So, if anybody else, some people say, and I've heard people claim that they were going to be abducted by aliens, and they just rebuked it in the name of Jesus, and the aliens went away. And I've heard people blast that, saying that they were abducted, they just don't remember it. But they make no claims, nothing to back up their claims on that. It's like, how do they know? Did they talk to these people? Did they go into hypnosis or something? Did they start getting memories later? That they started remembering being abducted? How can they say using the name of the Lord doesn't work? They claim it doesn't work. I'd like to know how they can say that. They don't say how they make that claim. They just say, oh, the aliens just, the first time they said it, and they just abducted them, brought them back, and let them think that the name of the Lord worked, and they have no other claims of that. They have no claims that it didn't work. So I'd like to hear from some of these people, if you've been abducted, they tried to abduct you and you used the name of the Lord, and they went away, if it actually worked. Or if later you started getting suppressed memories of being abducted anyway. So we'll know if that works. Some people claim that automatically we would be spared by this, by the Lord. But you know what? The Lord didn't spare Adam and Eve from Satan. He didn't spare the Christians in Rome from being eaten by the lions. Would he spare his people today from being eaten by the aliens? I don't think so. But I think if you called out to him and asked for protection, he would. He would honor that. So I don't know. I'm going to take a break. It's 11 o'clock. And a lot of you have been sending in emails that I haven't even begun to get to. So I think next week what I'll do, I think next week I'll get into these questions that have been coming in and just end the show for tonight. It's already been an hour long. And so next week I'll pick up on alien abductions and UFOs. I'll just pick up where I'm going to leave off tonight. And I'll start getting into some of these questions next week. So if you have questions in regards to anything, just send it to SherryTalkRadio at yahoo.com. Would like to hear from people who've been abducted by aliens or the military. It just seems to me that in my own personal experience over the years dealing with what I've dealt with since I've put up the WatcherFiles.com, I would have to say hands down, the majority of people I've heard from have been abducted by the military. I haven't yet, from anybody I know, that has been abducted by gray aliens. I know it happens. There's too many various people around the world from different parts who have nothing in common, all saying the same things. So you know it's happening. But I'm starting to think maybe there's a reason. Maybe it's because people I do know that have been abducted by the military were Christians. So maybe it's the Christians being targeted by the military. and those who aren't being targeted by the aliens. Maybe, I don't know. Is there something there? I don't know. I guess we'll figure that one out together the more I hear from different people. And it can't always be the case, because I know that there's some people that have used the name of the Lord to stop gray alien abductions. Maybe it did stop. Maybe they did stop them. And some of these different authors of different books who say it doesn't work, how do they know it didn't work? How do they know? What's your basis for testing that theory? Alright, well, give you plenty of things to think about this week. I'll be back next week. We'll go over these, the questions you've sent in tonight that I'm not going to get into. We'll get into them next week. Until then, I'll see you then. If the Lord's leading you to do something to protect your neighborhoods, towns, and cities with orgone, I have the directions at tearingdownstrongholds.com. You can learn how to make your own orgone the Lord's way. I know there's a big, huge difference between positive orgone energy and dead orgone energy, and we create positive orgone energy that fights against dead orgone energy. Dead orgone energy will work with their agenda. This is some of the orgone that the Don Croft crowd makes, unbeknownst to them, because they don't know what they're doing. They just listen to him, and they make what he tells them to make, and he's making dead orgone that creates portals, opens up portals for demonic beings. It's a reversed energy. It's a dead energy. It's what they live and eat off of. And so every day it's a war in itself. Positive orgone against dead orgone. So I'll get into that. Some more next week. So, yeah, check out tearingdownstrongholds.com. It's just something that a group of faction of us, of the 144,000, have been busy doing. I don't know if this is pre-144,000 work or post, or I've seen this in the Bible code, this group of people, this faction 4. So I just started calling it the faction 4 of 144, that are doing orgone, because I've seen the damage that we're going to cause to Satan's kingdom. And so that's the one thing that keeps me going. When I get frustrated, just hearing people's gripes and their opinions and their stupidity, they always want to come up against us and come up against me. When you see things like this and the death and destruction that can cause Satan's kingdom alone, and it's that and the Lord that keeps you going. It's certainly not people, because they're so ungrateful that you know. All you get from them is give me. There's such a huge difference between church crowd people and the Lord's people, the Lord's real people. There's a huge difference, huge. Because they're not like that. I could live, these people that I know that are in 144,000, and I often know who they are before they even know themselves. You can just tell them apart. You can just pick them apart, because of their spirits, because of the way they are, the type of spirits these people have, as opposed to these religionist Christians who just always have this give me attitude. Anyway, until next week, folks. I'm not on the internet that much anymore. I've been busy getting ready for my road trip this summer. And that will be happening. That's going to come up on me real quick, so I've been busy getting ready for that. Questions for the shows, just send them to SherryTalkRadio at yahoo.com. I'll see you next Monday night at 10 o'clock, and we'll pick up where we left off tonight. God bless everybody. Good night.